Hi, my name is Beth Reilly, and welcome to All Things Flamingo podcast by the Flamingo Group, Minnesota. Join us as we dive into real estate, community, and all things Flamingo. Get expert advice, local insights, and fun community topics to guide you through the world of real estate. Discover the beautiful city of Bloomington and explore the unique charm of our city. Tune in for a flocking good time. And today I'm very excited to introduce Eric Dennerle and our credit card hacking expert. Eric, we had a great time the last time you met, and it's like, you got to come back and tell us more about this because I learned so much from it. And both myself and Christine, the other person in the background here, and I wanted to review just a little bit. Okay, so where are we coming from and where are we going? So one of the things that you talked about last time that was super important is to start absolutely with a budget.
Correct.
Top thing to do. The second thing is to buy what you need on your credit card, not what you want.
That is key right there.
So it's all already in your budget, correct?
Correct.
And then the third thing was Christine had some good points. She said, use your credit card and not cash. So don't use your checking account. Use a credit card if you are responsible with your credit card. The fourth thing is to pay it off monthly.
Correct. Once you carry a balance and you're paying interest, that's it. All your points that you've accumulated, any type of rewards you're earning are out the window.
Okay. And the other thing is that banks really don't give you, if they have a credit card, yes, they give you points, they give you options like that. But if you use anything else, they don't really pay you to spend your own money. So correct. This is a way of spending your own money and making money, correct?
Essentially, yep.
Okay. That's our starting point. So credit card points are rewards offered by credit card issuers. Could you tell me a little bit about that? And just kind of get into that.
Well, like I said, your points, when you're using your credit cards for purchases, they can be redeemed for quite a number of different things. I'm the travel hacker, so I only utilize my points for travel. You can use it for cash back. You can use it for merchandise. Cash back is the second option that gives you the most bang for your buck. I mean, cash is king.
Right.
I do not recommend using it for merchandise. Your value significantly drops. So again, yeah, it varies based on what you want to utilize the credit card points for. And we'll go over later how you can calculate your redemptions to see if you're earning a pretty decent reward.
So when you say merchandise, are you saying because sometimes I go into these credit cards and it's like, you can get a free coffee maker or something like that. And that's not a great redemption.
You're not utilizing the points to their full potential, which I'll discuss later on, especially when using it for airlines or any type of travel, even hotel.
Okay. So there are three major transfer currencies. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Correct. You've got the oldest one in the playing field, which is membership rewards. That's with American Express. Citi is the second oldest with their thank you points, and Chase has their ultimate rewards. There is a new player with Capital One. It's too new for me to really give any type of a synopsis on. I have to really start to research, and Derek and I actually just got the Capital One Venture X card, which is with Capital One. So we're going to see how that works out before I can give any type of professional opinion.
And why did you want to do that? I mean, what was enticing you to check out Capital One?
They're newer. I like that they now have transfer partners. You can transfer their points to airlines. We're still saving for our first class tickets to Australia. So anything we can do to get more points onto that, we're doing it.
Yay.
Yeah.
When are you planning on doing it?
We're thinking next year in December. That's our goal.
How fun is that? Well, and you have friends there now too, so
we can't wait.
Fun. All right, so this kind of gives me an idea where it goes. So the Chase Ultimate Rewards is offered by Chase credit cards. Okay, it's Chase Bank. I got it.
Yes, this is probably the most popular. A lot of millennials and Gen Zs took to Chase when they launched their Sapphire Reserve card. It became a hit. So Chase has started to really get in the game with their rewards. Their redemptions are pretty good, even with just utilizing their credit card points for travel within their portal. You get 1.5 multiplier for each point. So Chase has a really good scheme right now.
Yeah, I actually got the Sapphire. You sold me on it. I haven't started it yet.
That's the best card for entry for any type of credit card hacking for travel.
Okay. Doesn't it have a annual fee on it?
It does. $95 annual fee.
Okay, because I couldn't. Oh, there it is. Found it. Okay. Thank you. You do know your credit cards.
I do.
All right. I think we're in there. American Express membership rewards. American Express was definitely the first sort of credit card that you absolutely had to pay off every month.
Yes, they had the charge cards. They were the first in the game with rewards. Derek kindly refers to me as bougie because I love my Amex cards. They have the most travel partners that you can transfer your points to various airlines that you can really utilize for really good redemption value.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just the American Express rewards are the oldest and they've fine-tuned it. So all of their cards give you really good cashback points if you know how to use it.
Okay.
Chase is easier. Amex they give you better points, but you really have to know how to utilize them.
Okay. They're kind of an old model.
Yep. It's the oldest one. They started, I believe, in 1991.
They had better start trying to compete a little bit better, because if it's hard to use, I won't do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's that difficult. Chase makes it much easier than American Express.
Okay.
You'll see Next City is probably the most difficult.
Okay. The thank you points are.
Yes.
Okay.
I have always utilized thank you points for things like car rentals or hotels. City has transfer partners, but it's very difficult to find really good redemption rewards with their travel partners. They do have a credit card that earns American airline points, which I'm really big on American Airlines, but it's not a transfer partner. So that's for a different discussion all in itself.
Okay, so if let's say you have points with American Airlines and you have points with your credit card, how are those? Can you marry those? Can you
Unfortunately, with American Airlines, you cannot. It's on its own. They don't have transfer partners with any credit card. That's
Okay.
why I carry an American Airlines credit card specifically for that.
Okay. And you use American Airlines, why? Because it has the most flights to California to see your son?
Yes, they are also a hub here in Chicago, so it makes it very easy for us to get direct flights places.
Okay.
And I just don't like United.
Well, you know me, I just use Sun Country and away I go, no matter where. Okay, so the city thank you points is a little bit more difficult to use then, is what you're saying.
Yes. I mean, again, I have my email address listed. If people really want more in-depth knowledge or they have questions about city, I am more than happy to answer.
Okay. Sounds good. So how to use your credit card points for travel. Before we get started, do all of these credit cards have apps? Like, can I just put an app on my phone and start rolling with it?
You sure can.
Yay. Okay, that's the most important, because I don't pay bills all the time at my computer.
Most people don't.
Right. Okay, so how to use credit card points for travel? Can you help me out on this? Accumulate sufficient points.
Okay, so accumulate sufficient points, meaning you're utilizing your credit cards based on your spending habits. So, for example, American Express has their gold card. They give you a 4 multiplier for all grocery spend. I utilize that only for grocery purchases because it gives me the most redemption reward. You would utilize your Chase card for travel. They give you the highest redemption multiplier for travel, such as Uber rides or
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
um, there's
Hotel?
hotels as well. I mean, both of these cards have multipliers depending upon which card you have, what the annual fee is, what you're willing to spend. There's literally a card out there for everybody. It's not a one size fit all. It just depends on what your spending habits are.
Okay, great.
Your second is you need to research your reward redemption options out there. Each travel partner you'll understand when you get into the points game. For example, United Airlines has Chase as its partner, and you can research reward redemption flights on their actual website. You find one that is a good reward redemption, you transfer your points over to United.
Okay.
Which brings it into compare redemption rates. Delta is a transfer partner with American Express. United is a transfer partner with Chase. Sometimes you'll find a better reward redemption with Delta versus United. So if you diversify and you have multiple credit cards with different companies like Amex Rewards, Ultimate Rewards, Citi, you can get the most bang for your buck.
Wow. Sounds kind of fun, actually. It's sort of like shopping, but a whole
Kind
new
of.
menu of ways to shop.
This has been a evil indulgence of mine for years now.
I know, but it's kind of fun. I mean, I've gotten free airline tickets and stuff just for spending for different things. And I'm like, oh, why didn't I do this before? And I always had a puny number of points. So it never helped. So you first accumulate sufficient points. I never had it until you started telling me about it. Then I started to use my credit card differently and paying it off. So
Absolutely.
it's been good.
Which we also discussed transfer points to partners. Each company or bank will allow you to tie your airline loyalty program to its point scheme so you can do direct point exchange. United, we'll backtrack here. Every airline you have to have a loyalty membership with in order to transfer these points to.
Okay.
So I have a loyalty program with United. If I find a very inexpensive United redemption flight, I can transfer my ultimate rewards straight to United with each company. The bank transfers it straight to United.
Can this be done on your phone? It says book travel through cards portal. So you're actually on the portal for your credit card, and then it transfers that way.
You can transfer it on your mobile phone, yeah. You have to really look for these redemptions though on your computer. It's very difficult to find redemptions on your phone. It can be done. I have found redemptions with Air Canada, which is a transfer partner with American Airlines. I've found a couple of redemptions with them. I've utilized them to have a flight out to California.
Okay. Good. Well, these are little quirky things, but like you said, book travel through cards portal. If it is on the computer, because I do find things better on my computer sometimes than I do on my phone. And then sometimes I find things on my phone and then poof, they're gone. I don't know why, but I'm like, oh, where'd that go? Where that doesn't happen as much when I'm on a laptop.
We could spend literally hours for me discussing how this works. Like, I'm giving you the general brief synopsis.
So people know it's possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Offset travel expenses. Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, a free flight is a free flight.
Oh, yeah. Check for additional benefits.
Credit cards also give you additional benefits alone outside of these transfer partners, which we will get into as well later.
Mhm.
Benefits include things like car insurance when you use your Chase credit card to get a car rental, to flight protections. If your flight is delayed by a certain amount of time, they'll reimburse you for a certain amount.
Interesting. Up to how much money, if you're doing this correctly, let's just give a regular travel. Let's say you go out to see your son. He's in Oakland or San Francisco.
Oakland, I mean, San
Oakland.
Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah. You go out there, you rent a car, and you get a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, up to how much have you been able to save? You could just give us like the ultimate scenario, because you could actually get some great benefits, like go to an airport lounge. I mean, I don't know. There's lots of stuff you do.
So I'll give you an example. When I lived out west in California, I decided one year I wanted to take a trip to Vancouver and Seattle. I'd never been there before. So I found a cheap flight. I stayed in a 5-star resort and booked a car rental, all with my points. And it cost me with taxes around $100. I was gone for 10 days.
What?
Yeah.
All right, wait, go back over that. You got a car rental,
hotel, 5-star, flight, all on my West Coast extravagant trip when I went to Vancouver and Seattle.
Wow.
All I paid were taxes, and it cost roughly, I think at the most with taxes on the flight and the hotel, I paid about 190.
Huh. About how many points was that? And did you use one credit card for all those points, or
Multiple.
okay?
I used American Express points for my Hilton. I used Chase for my Sheridan, I believe it was, hotel.
Nice.
Used points for a Alaska Airlines flight from San Francisco to Seattle. Rented a car and drove from Seattle to Vancouver and then back.
Beautiful. That's pretty exciting.
It was a great trip.
How long did it take you to save for something like that?
It took me a good 12 months to rack up my points. Once you have something in mind that you want to do, a destination of some sort, you have a budget in your mind for how many points you want to accumulate, and you say, okay, well, I know what I want to do. I know how many points I need roughly. This is what we need to spend in order to get this. A huge thing too is, and I don't normally recommend this to most people, but when you do credit card churning, you open up different credit cards to get their bonus that they give you for when, for example, you spend $3,000 within a 3-month period on a credit card. They'll give you 60,000 United Airline points or 60,000 Ultimate Reward points with Chase. However, my caveat there is that when you open these cards, make sure it's for an expense that you are going to purchase regardless.
Okay.
Derek and I knew we wanted to get a new mattress, so we opened up a credit card because we used that card to purchase the new mattress that we were going to get.
Nice. So the point, yeah, you were going to spend it anyways.
Exactly.
And you had the money in your cash account already.
Yep.
Okay. Those were key. I'm glad you keep bringing that up, because I do think this is very fun. It's kind of sexy. It's exciting. For me, it's a new way to shop. So I like all that, but I also have to stay on top of, whoa, wait a minute. Got to pay this off every month. Pay it off.
Exactly.
So, cool.
I tell people all the time. The minute you have to carry a balance and you pay interest, the value of your points drops significantly.
Now, you talk a little bit about how miles may vary. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Because I guess I'm thinking, hey, I got 37,000 miles. I just check and see how those thousands of miles compare to the credit, to what I'm doing, what I'm trying to buy.
So within the travel hacking community, and yes, there's a community, there are Reddits out there, there are various people that have started blogs and websites. There's a term that we utilize called your miles may vary. Essentially, what that means is that each credit card point is not equal. You can utilize them for different things, and they will vary in their value. There is a calculation that we utilize within the community to give you a rough estimate of what each point is worth. And when I'm helping people, I normally tell them, you want your points to equal at least 1.5 or more. 2 is an amazing redemption. Anything over 2 is just fantastic.
Yeah, like your 4X for groceries with your Amex.
Well, those are the multipliers to accumulate the points.
Okay.
So
multipliers to accumulate the point. Got it. And then the points itself have their own value.
Correct. They're a currency.
Got it.
So the calculation that I utilize is the price of, for example, the plane ticket divided by the amount of the points that you utilize for the plane ticket equals your point value.
Okay.
So in the example here, we said a $1,300 plane ticket utilized 100,000 points. That means your points value are around 1.3 cents per point.
Okay.
That's a good value.
Because it's for one. So it's 1 point. Anything over 1 is a good value to you.
Well, anything over 1 is what essentially each point should be worth. Each point should be worth 1 cent.
Okay. So let's say so for this, the plane ticket is 1.3, but let's say you go to buy a hotel room online in the system, it might be less.
It could.
Okay.
Yes. Your point value could be 0.75 instead of 1.3. It differs. I am trying to get our Australia tickets to at least a 1.7 or more.
Dang.
I won't settle for anything less.
Which one do you think is going to do it for you?
So Air Canada has really good flights from the West Coast to New Zealand or Australia. We're not decided if we're going to go to New Zealand first, then Australia, or vice versa.
You should go to both. They're very close to each other.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
As far as the flight to go where first, we don't know. I've seen a really good flight from Chicago to Vancouver and Vancouver straight to New Zealand.
Okay.
First class for about 300,000 American Express points per person.
All right.
So these flights, a first class flight, Trans-Pacific, normally will cost anywhere from $5,000 or more.
So 3,000 points.
So I've seen them anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 for these first class flights.
Right.
So if we're going to do the calculation, you're looking at a pretty good redemption value. Let's see. Let's look at it on the calculator.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like 1.5 something.
So let's say it's an $8,000 flight and we're utilizing 300,000. You're looking at a 2.6.
Whoa. That's great.
First class is where it gets you the money.
Okay. You should do this. You should really probably write about this.
There are countless blogs and websites that are designed to help people with this. One of the biggest ones is I forgot his name, but he is a points enthusiast, and his website, it helps you with redemptions. It gives you credit card reward schemes. It goes over everything in detail.
Okay.
There are so many people out there that you can Google.
Yeah, I just think that the main reason for us to have this conversation is because a lot of people just don't know.
Exactly.
No idea, or they're just not paying attention. It's like, well, I don't know, some points. I don't want a coffee machine. Forget it. That's kind of how I've been. So
I think it's one of the most underrepresented schemes there are out there.
mm-hmm.
When I first got into this, I worked with the guy, and he was constantly going away on these really extravagant flights. And I would think, my God, this guy makes so much money. And we worked together. And I remember asking him one day, how on earth do you afford all of these vacations? And I remember he told me, I don't really pay much for them. I use my credit card points. And it was right then and there that it clicked. Like, what am I doing wrong here? And the minute I can find something that will give me a really good value for nothing, I'm on that like crazy.
Yeah, it definitely. I've always been one of those people that loves sales, but I'm like, I'm not that into clothes, and I don't want to buy a lot of stuff. But boy, travel. This is my new bailiwick. I'm ready to go now. I'll never be as good as you, Eric, but
Well, don't say that.
I will strive.
I was really horrible at one point, utilizing things when I first started for redemption that weren't great.
Your son does a lot on cash, and that's what a lot of people tell me is they do it for cash. But I think what I'm hearing is the real points is in really it's in travel.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where you're going to get your most out of it. I understand cash when people want to pay back and stuff. I get it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, it just all depends on what your goal is.
Mm-hmm. What are some questions that are really important? Are there any limitations or restriction when it comes to redeeming credit card points for travel?
I wouldn't say there's any limitations or restrictions, but a lot of companies are starting to cap. I know that American Express now has a cap on how many points they'll give you on flight redemptions in a year. So a lot of people in corporate were using their credit cards to purchase their corporate flights, and it started to become quite
expensive for them.
Yeah, they were losing a lot of money. I mean, Chase at the beginning, when they launched their Chase Sapphire Reserve card,
Yeah.
they were giving 100,000 points, and they lost money the first year.
Well, then you should probably get on this new one, Capital. Check out what Capital's doing so you can maybe catch some of those good deals. Believe me, credit card companies and banks are making enough money.
Oh, yeah.
You not have to worry about this.
They're not philanthropic institutions, that's for sure.
Are there any additional perks or benefits that come with credit card points, such as a travel insurance, airport lounge access?
Absolutely. With your American Express Platinum card, you get access to Priority Pass Lounge access and Centurion Lounge access, which some of the best lounges in the airports. My American Airlines credit card gives me access to Admiral's Club.
Nice.
And I can't imagine now going to an airport and not going into a lounge, because they're little oases. They give you free alcohol, free drinks, free food, everything.
Wow.
And it's quiet, and it's free Wi-Fi. You don't have to deal with the stress of the airport. Unfortunately, they're becoming overcrowded because more and more people are realizing this, but still, at the end of the day, they're much, much better than just paying an ungodly amount for food and alcohol at an airport.
Nice. Are there any hidden fees or costs associated with credit card points, such as annual fees or redemption fees?
Yes, the more the more perks on a credit card, the higher the annual fee.
Okay.
Um, the highest annual fee for a premium credit card is the Amex Platinum, which is $695 a year. The lowest annual fee of a premium credit card right now is Capital One's Venture X, which is $395 a year. But I tell people all the time the sticker price is shocking. However, when you start to deep dive into the perks, it far outweighs the annual fee.
Okay. It's just on how you use it, like the Forex groceries, lounge access. That's all on the Amex Platinum. So it's $695.
Right.
Okay. It's just you'd have to play around with their website to figure out how to use it because you said that's one of the most difficult ones to use. Amex is.
It's it has its challenges, yes. But again, every credit card is not a one size fits all. The credit cards I use might not work for you. It might not be what your spending habits are.
Right. Well, groceries I can use.
Oh yeah, groceries are for everybody.
So to have a nice points magnifier is that makes it kind of interesting to me, but I don't know. I would like to be bougie though, like Derek says.
I mean, whip out that Amex and give it to somebody. They look at it.
It's very pretty card too. It's impressive. I'm gonna go there. It's impressive.
It's bougie. We'll just say that.
Have we missed anything?
There is so much on this topic that we could, again, talk for hours. Hopefully, I didn't make this confusing and I gave you just a brief outline of how credit card points travel rewards work.
No, I think it was really helpful that some of them work well in different areas. And then also the whole airline, especially if you're trying to hack for travel. What I thought was interesting is how you could use actual American Express points and the credit card points. That they would be trade partners. Is that the term you used, or
transfer partners? Yep.
Transfer partners. That's something to look into. It is another level, though. I mean, I'm just excited to be able to use points, but it is another level of understanding the point system. So I thought that was really important to understand. Also, just to kind of know, oh yeah, it's $695 to be able to join this. It better have some good bennies.
I mean, we can discuss the Amex Platinum. So with
Okay.
$695, you get $200 in credits on Uber a year. You get
Credits, like, really?
Yep, they'll give you $15 a month towards Uber every month, and I think it's $25 in December. You'll get $200 credit towards incidentals on your airlines. So if you are paying for an upgrade on your seat, or you're paying for a baggage check, Amex will reimburse you for that.
How much? You said how much a year?
$200 a year.
So there's 200 in that. Well, that happens all the time.
Yep.
Or baggage check. I mean, okay.
So we're at now what? We just deducted 400 from 695. And then think about your lounge access. Let's say you go to the airport at least once a month or more, and you're at a lounge eating food and drinking alcohol. How much would that normally cost you a year if you travel a lot? We're talking hundreds of dollars. So right here, you're already up to the amount of the annual fee, and you're utilizing the full benefits to outweigh the cost. I mean, if you're just going to hold the card because it's a platinum and pay the $695, I think you're nuts.
Yeah. The Uber thing's kind of interesting. I just didn't put that together at all.
Yep. And Amex Platinum has always been like the bomb credit card for luxury perks.
Yeah. It has been for years.
Yeah. And then Chase came in and introduced their Sapphire Reserve and just blew them out of the water. So they constantly compete head to head.
All right. Well, I love this. I love this topic. I'm so glad we were able to talk again. I do think it's something that I'm looking forward to getting feedback from people as they see this and learning more about it. So thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. I always love talking about this.
Well, it's a joy. Thank you.